Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Mazal Tov. Welcome, welcome. Page 13. I'll begin with Shalom Aleichem. Page 13 in our Sidurim. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hashem, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Kadosh Baruch Boachem, Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruchuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Seichem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Is there a blessing over the candles? Teresa and Leah, come on up. All right, we'll say our blessing. Let's all rise as we say our blessing of the candles. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen, amen. Say Shabbat Shalom to someone near you, around you. Say Shabbat Shalom. And we invite David Schroit. David, come on up for a moment and you'll lead us in a prayer, a Sabbath prayer. We turn to page 14. There you go. Yeah, that's the one.
Dear God, help us now to make this new Shabbat. After noise, we seek quiet. After crowds of indifferent strangers, we seek to touch those we love. After concentration on work and responsibility, we seek freedom to meditate, to listen to our inward selves. We open our eyes to the hidden beauties and the infinite possibilities in the world you are creating. We break open the gates of the reservoirs of goodness and kindness in ourselves and in others. We reach toward one holy, perfect moment of Shabbat.
Amen. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom, Mazal Tov. We turn to page 15. Lechu neranena, Lechu neranena, L'Adonai, Na'ariya letzur yishenu, Yekadma fanav, B'toda, Bizmirot nariya lo. Arba'im shana akut bedor, Omar am to'e levavhem, Vehem lo yadu derachai, Asher nishpati be'apim, Yivun el menuchati. Page 16, Shirul Adonai, Shirul Adonai, Shir Chadash, Shirul Adonai, Kol Haaretz, Shirul Adonai, Baruch Hu Shemo, Asru miyom le'yom Yeshuato, Sapru v'goyim kevodo, V'chol ha'amim yifleotav, Ki gadol Adonai, u'olam me'od, norahu, al kol Elohim. 4 lines up. Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, Mitageh haaretz, Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, Mitageh haaretz. Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, umelo. Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, umelo. Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, Mitageh haaretz.
Yalo sadai v'kol asher boaz yiranenu kol atzei ya'ar lifnei Adonai kiva kiva lishpot haaretz yishpot tevel b'tzedek ve'amin b'emunato.
Adonai Melech Tzedek, page 17.
Urzaru al tzadik l'ishrei lev simcha simecho tzadikim b'Adonai v'hodu l'zecher kodsho.
Shir Adonai, Shir Chadash, Kiflaot Asar. Read page 18 in the Hebrew, the English.
Lifnei Adonai kiva lishpot haaretz yishpot tevel b'tzedek me'amin b'meisharim.
Page 19. I'm left to Gerzim. Shir Zatar, Tzim Ramakohim. Go Trel Kiddush Eloheinu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu le'har kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu le'har kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu le'har kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu le'har kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Once we rise, page 20. Mizmor leDavid, Habul Adonai b'ne'elim, Habul Adonai, Kavod la'oz, Habul Adonai kevod shemo, Ishtachavu l'Adonai be'adrat kodesh, Kol Adonai Ahamayin el hakavod ilim, Adonai Amayim Rabim, Kol Adonai Kol Adonai Kol Adonai behadar, Kol Adonai shover arazim, וישבר אדוני את ארזי הלבנון וירא קידם כמו עגל לבנון בסיריון כמו בין רעמים כל אדוני חוצב לבוטש כל אדוני יחיל מדבר יחיל אדוני מדבר קדש כל אדוני חולל היעלו ויחסו יערות ובהיכלו כולו אומר כבוד אדוני למה בו ישב וישב אדוני מלך לעולם אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום אי לי לי אי לי לי אי לי לי You may be seated. We turn to page 21, L'chadodim. L'chadodim likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. L'chadodim likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad, ishmi'anu le'am yuchad, Adonai echad, u'shemo echad, l'shemo tiferet v'litila. L'chadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. L'chadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat, lechu v'necha, ki mekor habiracha merosh mikeh, nesucha sof ma'aseh b'mashav atfila. L'chadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. L'chadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Yigdash melech ir melucha, kum yitzei mitoch ha'apecha, rav לשבת בעמק הבכה, והוא יחמול עלייכם לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. התנערי מעפר קומי, לבשי בגדי תפארתך מעליה בן ישי, בית הלחמי, קרבה אל נפשי גאלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. דודי לקראת כלה, בני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי בעורר קומי אורי, 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 שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נידע. לך דודי, לך Shabbat nekabela. And we rise, bottom of page 22. Boi v'shalom ateret ba'ala, gam b'simcha u'b'tzola, toch emunei am segula, boi chala, lecha dodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabela. You may be seated. Page 23, a song for Shabbat. Mizmor Shir Yom HaShabbat.
עוד ינובון בסבע דשנים ורעננים יהיו להגיד כי אשר אדוני צורי ולא עוולה תעבור.
Page 24.
עדותיך נאמנו מאוד לבדך נא בקודש הרנה לאורך ימים.
Friends, Mourner's Kaddish is in the middle of page 24. Yit Gadal, V'yit Kadash, Shemei Rabbah. V'almad divra kirute, v'amlich machute, v'chayechon, v'yomechon, v'chayeh dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'gala, v'zman kariv, v'imru, Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah mevorach, v'lam u'meo maya. Yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitba'ar, v'yitromam, v'yitnaseh. Yithadar, v'yitalev, v'yitalal, Shemei Dekudesha, Brichu, Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru, Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba min Shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru. Amen. You may be seated. So Norma and Saul are celebrating their anniversary tonight. How many years are you celebrating? Come on up to the 54 years. That's all right. Here, come on up to the bima. Come. And we're going to bless you with a special blessing on your 54th wedding anniversary. Almost 55. And and it's a great privilege and pleasure to be here with you. Mishaberach Halten Abraham Yitzhak Yaakov Sarev Karchavalya Rivarta Hatan Vehakala. May God who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless this groom and this bride who are here today with gratitude for all their blessings their 54 years together have afforded them. May the Kadosh Baruch Hu protect them and deliver them. May they continue to enjoy their blessing in the new song over years to come. Embraced by love of your beautiful family, embraced by love of this congregation, so that you may always live in joy and gladness and peace and companionship. But together we say, Amen. Simin tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simin tov, simin tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simin tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simin tov. Hey, lanu, Ulecho Yisrael. Lanu, Ulecho Yisrael. Lanu, Ulecho Yisrael. Mazal tov, mazal tov.
Thank you.
Mazal tov.
Good Shabbos.
Shabbos. Let's all rise, page 28, for the Baruch Hu.
Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai Amorach Leolam Ba'en.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. today.
Baruch atah Adonai. You may be seated. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher b'dvarav.
El Chavekayam Tamid Yimloch Aleinu Le'olam Va'ed Baruch Ata Adonai
Baruch Shema.
Ari Varavi.
Amen. Page 29. Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Ahavta Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim otanu limadta Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shavenu b'kumenu nasiach b'chukecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha u'b'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed Hem chayenu be'orech yameinu be'orech yameinu uvahem negeh yomam v'layla yomam v'layla
Ve'ahavatecha tasim mimenu le'olamim Baruch Ata Adonai
Baruch Shema.
Ohev Amo Yisrael.
So friends, for the Shema, we want to bring up our bar and bat mitzvah. We turn to page 30. Come on up, Daniel and Leah. And we want to invite up the parents, too. Come on up. And we're going to place their talit, bring up his talit. And we're going to, is it outside? That's all right. Come on up anyway, yeah. The Shema is our central prayer, of course, and the whole service revolves around the recitation of the Shema. And we sit down for the Shema because it's a recitation. The Amidah, of course, is where we stand, and we sit for the Shema. And so we're going to recite the most important prayer right now for the tzitzit.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kedishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahatitef b'tzitzit.
Amen. Amen. Let's say the Shechianu together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shechianu v'kiyimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Amen. Amen. Thank you. You may be seated. We continue with the Shema, page 30.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Baruch Shem K'vod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, b'lo levavecha, u'b'chol nafshecha, u'b'chol me'itecha, ve'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele, asher anochi mitzavecha, hayom al levavecha, v'shinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, v'shivtecha b'beitecha, uvlechtecha v'derech, u'shofecha uv'kumecha, u'kshartam leot al yadecha, v'chayu letotafot beinecha, u'ftavtam al mezuzot beitecha, u'visharecha.
And continue on page 31.
Adonai Elohechem Emet.
Amen. Page 32.
U'malchuto b'ratzon kiblu ובני ישראל יכנו שירה בשמחה רבה ויאמרו כולם.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות אוספת.
מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע ים לפני משה זלי, ענו ויאמרו
אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
ונאמר כי פדרנו את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גיא ישראל.
Amen. Ashkivenu Shalom, page 33.
ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ברוך אתה אדוני, הפורש סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל, יא ירושלים שומרים
Mesham. Let's rise.
Veshamru, Bnei Yisrael, et HaShabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם בלידולה. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Amen. Chayechonu b'yomechon, u'chayedecho beit Yisrael. Ba'agala, ba'agala, u'bizman karim. Amen. Yeshmei mevorach, leolam leomel maya, yitbarach.
יתברך וישתבח ויפאר יתרומם יתנשא ויתהדר יתעלה ויתעלה שמי קודשה
B'rechu.
לילה מנחה ברכתה ושירתה
Tushbechata v'nechemata,
דמירן בימה וימרו.
Amen. Friends, the Amidah begins on page 35, page 35b with the Imahot. A few moments of silent prayer. Oseh shalom bimroma. Uyaseh shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Ve'imru amen. Yaseh shalom. Yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Imeru. So you may be seated.
Shabbat Shalom. We all recognize that successful communication requires tailoring your message to those to whom you're speaking. When we pay someone a compliment, to be effective, the compliment must actually hone in on something that the recipient truly values, else the best intentions in the world will ring hollow. In the face of conflict, the same message shaping is required. Our words must be designed to address the issues as experienced by each of the parties to the conflict. In this week's Torah reading, we encounter one of the more well-known biblical narratives, the 10 plagues. The plagues are graphically displayed in numerous modern movies about the Exodus. The same 10 plagues are situated in the midst of our seders when in the presence of children, often accompanied by flying frogs and other symbolic paraphernalia. However, humor amidst a tale of tragedy that would make Shakespeare proud, and one which makes for a great movie with special effects. One of the great challenges to be found in this biblical narrative is when we encounter the text regarding the hardening of Pharaoh's heart. After each of the first 5 plagues, as each source of suffering is removed, we hear repetitively that Pharaoh's heart stiffened, implying that Pharaoh chose to become hard-hearted and conditions reverted to the status quo. In contrast, in 4 of the final 5 plagues, we're offered a different and a troubling message. We're told the Lord stiffened the heart of Pharaoh, seemingly removing human choice from the equation. Now, virtually all of the commentators ask the obvious question: how can Pharaoh's punishment be justified if God stiffens the Egyptian king's heart? And the common response among the commentators suggests that by breaking the plagues into 2 groups of 5, we come to understand that at first, Pharaoh had free will, but after numerous occasions of stiffening his own heart, God assumes control and metes out a series of inevitable punishments. I'd like to propose a different model, a different division of the plagues with different implications. I offer that the plagues were intentionally arranged into a structure comprised of the first 7 plagues as one unit and the final 3 as yet another. Here's a couple reasons why I say that. First, in this model, plague 7, the plague of hail, completes the first unit. And we should note that this, the 7th plague, is the first time in which Pharaoh justifies God's actions. He says, I stand guilty this time. The Lord is in the right, and I and my people are in the wrong. Well, one of the stated objectives from the very beginning was, we were told, and the Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord when I stretched out my hand over Egypt. And so here with this 7th plague, Pharaoh's admission makes clear that the initial goal has been completed. Secondly, the introduction to the plague seems to indicate that the hail will serve as the final plague. We read, "For this time I will send all of my plagues upon your person and your courtiers and your people, in order that you will know that there is none like me in the world." And the text is suggesting here that God had been sparing Pharaoh and all the Egyptians from the full extent of divine power, but now God is ready to strike with full divine power. Third, if the plague of hail can be said to mark the end of a unit, then it should come as no surprise that the following set of plagues would begin with a new introduction. And indeed, that's the case. Plague 8, the plague of locusts, is prefaced by a new explanation to Moses about the purpose and the function of the plagues. The Bible tells us that the Lord said to Moses, "Go to Pharaoh, for I have hardened his heart that you may recount in the hearing of your sons and your sons' sons that I make a mockery of the Egyptians in order that you, the Israelites, may know that I am the Lord." And so the distinction, the division of the plagues into groups of 7 and 3 provide a very different focus. We're told that the first 7 plagues were intended by design to cause the Egyptians to know God. Throughout this first unit, the narrative appropriately focuses on the Egyptians only, and there's no mention of the Israelites in the first 7 plagues. The final 3 plagues, however, are intended to move the Israelites to recognize God, and in this section, mention of the Egyptians is absent. Based on this division, we might intuit that the shift in the description of the hardenings of Pharaoh's heart are related to the didactic purpose of the units themselves. Once it becomes clear that God is sending the final 3 plagues to educate the Israelites, mention of Pharaoh's freedom of choice is gone. And accordingly, the message changes and it shifts to the portrayal of God and God's power. I would propose to you that the messaging is presented differently as a function of the intended target audiences. In speaking to the Egyptians, in speaking to Pharaoh, it was imperative to highlight Pharaoh's free choice, his free will, and to establish a clear causality between the imposition of suffering and then the subsequent punishment. However, the emphasis upon Pharaoh's free will is removed when the text shifts, when the text speaks to the Israelite population who had languished terribly. They had pain and suffering and death at the hands of this Pharaoh. To the slaves, in the message, Pharaoh's free will has been evidenced on a daily basis. They've had years of bondage. They've had witnessed loved ones beaten and murdered. And what they needed to hear at this point was not one more example of Pharaoh's personal choices, his obstinance and his cruelty, but rather they needed to hear of the power of God, a message enabling hope, a message enabling the promise of a journey me'avdut lecherut, from slavery to freedom. And so the Torah, much like modern communication specialists, is conveying the importance of tailoring one's words to the people to whom we speak. And in so doing, we're not only more effective in communicating, we're also communicating a sensitivity and an awareness of the various needs of those to whom we're speaking. We instinctively do this with children. We select different words. We change the imagery. We change the metaphors that we're using. We opt to avoid certain conversations entirely. And so with children, and as we should with others, we recognize the needs of the other and we adapt our speech accordingly, because our choice of words matters. Adaptation shifts from egocentrism to care and respect for the other. May it be God's will that we express our free will, stepping out of ourselves by choosing our words wisely. May our choice of words, as we learn from our biblical tradition, serve as a blessing, bringing love and comfort to all those in our immediate sphere, and peace and conflict resolution to the world. Ken Yehi Ratzon, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Yasher Koach. Friends, we continue on page 48. Let's rise. Page 48 is we receive our Shabbat charge. Let's read first in the English and then we'll do it in the Hebrew. Please join me. Our God and God of our ancestors, find favor in our Shabbat rest. Instill in us the holiness of your mitzvot, and let your Torah be our portion. Fill our lives with your goodness, and gladden us with your triumph. Cleanse our hearts so that we might serve you faithfully. Lovingly and willingly, Adonai, our God, grant that we inherit your holy Shabbat, so that the people of Israel who hallow your name will always find rest on this day. Praised are you, Adonai, who hallows Shabbat.
Eloheinu ve'Eloi avoteinu, ritzei ritzei v'mnuchatenu, kachenu b'mitzvotecha, v'ten chelkenu b'toratecha, sabenu mituvecha, v'samchenu b'yeshuatecha, v'ta'er libenu, v'yavdecha b'yemet, v'harchilenu, Adonai Eloheinu, b'yava uvratzon, Shabbat kodshecha, v'yanuchu v'Yisrael, mikadeshei shemecha, Baruch atah Adonai, mikadesh hashabat. Yitkara v'yikara shemei rabba, v'yamad yivrachiru v'yamlik malchute v'chayechonu v'yimechonu v'chayi l'chol beit Yisrael, b'agalav izman kariv yimeru. Yesh mirabba mivarach, le'olam le'olam maya.
Yitbarach.
Yitbarak v'yishlavach v'yitbar v'yirma v'yinaseh v'yithadar v'yitale v'yidalash shmer kudesha b'rechu v'yelon inko v'yirchata v'shirata v'chata v'nechamata damiran v'yalama v'imeru. Amen. Tika b'atzilot honu v'ahon d'chol Yisrael kodam avon v'shmaya v'imeru. Amen. Yehi shlam arab amin shemai v'chayim aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'imeru. Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'imeru.
Amen. Kiddush is on page 49.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kedisham b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodesho b'havaratzon hinulanu, zikaron l'maseh v'reishit. Ki hu yom techila l'mikra'e kodesh, zecher l'tzion Mitzrayim. Ki banu v'charta, ve'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, Shabbat kodeshecha, Baruch atah Adonai mikadesh hashabat.
Amen.
Asher kochachem. We turn to page 51 for Aleinu.
Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, latei kedula leoser breshit, shelo asanu kikoye haratzot, velo samanu kishkot hadama, shelo samchochenu nahem, vegor aleinu kicho hamonam, vanachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech, malkei malchim, hakadosh baruch hu, shehu notei shamayim veyoseh haaretz, Moshe Karov Hashamayim Ima'av, Ushli Natuzo, Begov He Meromim, Hu Eloheinu Ein Od, Emet Malkeinu Efes Ulato, Kakatu Betoratom, V'yadatayom, V'hashivota Elevavecha. Hi Adonai, Hu Elohim, Bashamayim Nima'al, V'yaharetz, Mitachat, Einod, V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad u'shemo
Friends, you may be seated. Our condolences go out to the families of Sherwin Rubin, Stuart Raskin, Anna Steinberger, Susan Krohn, Dorothea Edmonds, and Daniela Hampel. We commemorate the following Yortzites: Paul Alberts, Louis Allen, Betty Krupp Arrow, Harry Avrutin, Rebecca Buck, Louis Chanin, Herman Eigler, Jaime Einstein, Brocha Einstein, Benjamin Feldman, Barbara Goldfein Bernstein, Jacob Yitzchak Goodstein, Milton Greenberg, Yetta Chaya Gez Limbroso, Shirley Hamburger, Seymour Kaplan, Ruth Keller, Robin Royal Kirby, Rebecca Krastovsky, Jack Laves, Sarah Lebo, Dave Leibowitz, Avita Weingarten Levinson, Michelle Merrick, Jody Maloney, May Merkin, Herbert Pear, Sam Pickelner, Richard Portnoy, Eleanor Ratner, Iris Sissenwine, Louis Sobel, Jane Sunshine, Saul Stepanoff, Ruth Waldman, and Max Winters. Mourner's Kaddish on page 52. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, Be'alma divra kerute, Be'amlich malchute, B'chaye echon u'vyom echon u'b'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala u'bizman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam l'omei olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yit hadar, v'yit aleh, v'yit halal, shmei dekudesha, brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. May the one who makes peace above bring peace and comfort to us below. Together we say amen. Amen. Shabbat shalom. Glad you're all here. Mazal tov. Looking forward to tomorrow morning, and where you're going to be reading the Torah and the Haftarah and the Torah service and celebrating with family and friends. Really looking forward to it. A couple of announcements. Morning Minyan continues Monday through Friday, 9 a.m., Sundays at 8:30 a.m. This Sunday, Men's Club hosts their monthly breakfast. We're going to talk with the regional head of APAC, Jerry Greenspan. Next Shabbat is Friday Night Ruach on Friday and Shabbat morning service honoring CBS Women in the morning. The weekend of January 27th, in a couple weeks, we welcome Rabbi Brad Artson as our scholar in residence. Looking forward to that. Learn to read Torah. If you know some Hebrew and would like to learn how to read Torah up here on the Bima, now's your chance. Sundays starting on January 28th with Nancy Pikus. Thank you so much for being here. Let's conclude our service with a connection with the state of Israel and a prayer for protection and safety and to bring the hostages home. The Hatikva, we rise. Page 395.
O Lord, beleva
Penima
nefesh Yehudi homiya ufate Mizrach kadima ayin lezion Sophia od lo tikvatenu hatikva bashnot alpayim liotam chofshi be'artzenu eretz Zion Yerushalayim liotam chofshi be'artzenu eretz Zion Yerushalayim.
Let's find someone to bless, and we're going to bless each other with a priestly benediction. Place a hand on someone's shoulder or arm or sitting near you, around you.
Yivarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
Ken yehi ratzon.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yikonecha.
Ken yehi ratzon.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasim lecha shalom.
Ken yehi ratzon. Shabbat shalom, yeshar koach.